I know N-E-I-O, I know one N-E-I-O, N-E-I-O, N-E-I-O. I know the other I-O, no other's I-O, another I-O. No one N-E-I-O, no one N-E-I-O, no one N-E-I-O, no one N-E-I-O. I-O, an N-E-I-O, an N-E-I-O, an N-E-I-O.
I-O-wa-san, I-opener, I-opener, I-hope-in her, hope-in her, hope-inner, I-opener. The 6 o'clock news. We're a courting disasters made, a courting disasters made, according to disasters made, disasters made, disasters made. No plans are made where disaster reigns. Disaster reigns, disaster reigns. The faster it rains, the faster it rains. The faster it rains, the faster. Disasters made in the rain, in the rain. Universal truth. It may be just that humankind's extinction proves the benign. I'm not finding what I want. I'm not finding what I want. Add voicements. Add voicements. Voice says. Voice. Voices. Voices. Voice says. Voices. Voices. Voice says. Voices. Voice says. For his people. Forest people, for his people, forest people. The theory of half-truths. First half. Some of the world's people are half fooled by America and must think it high time they suffer some, as if millions don't. Half in the bag, with a foot in the grave, it's a country only short of halflings by a gulag. Good old America, not half bad if you make believe you're rich. And it's true. Every country has its halves and have-nots to blame, as half of something is someone's to claim. In this there is wealth enough and sufferance for all. The fool and the fool's companion will never part, no matter how divisions run, and everyone will suffer the other fool's gold. Second half. It's fourth and gold to go. Then it's halftime in America. Home versus away is the real estate of affairs. A no man's land without half measures. But thumbs up or down, it's the market decides. On whose field of dreams is money played like a blood sport? In the stadium of half-truths, there's no fair play. Listen up. This is the measure of democracy. The environmental impact of the two-stroke alone would make your heart skip. It could give you a stroke, like 2 whacks from an axe. Try revving one of those in your bathtub, just for a few minutes, mind. After all, the noise. Then take a drink of the water, have a little bath, light yourself on fire. The two-stroke ought to be damned on its way to the apocalypse, with us on board. Cargo. Humanity for Gary Gilbert. Fish with a W. Backwards, forwards, reverse. This is for keeps. Egg. A poetry, a day is a doctor away. Trojan condoms. For when it's got the false gift inside the walls, and the horse cock is spilling man, blood and pillage laud, to steal a king's daughter for the king, dong, king, dumb come, for king. Incomplete tree guide. Looking south, state tree of Wisconsin is the sugar maple. That's where Zhukovsky had a bird's eye view, heard the paperboy cry, rags make paper, paper makes rags, money makes banks, banks make loans, loans make poverty, poverty makes rags. Oh, there aren't many marks upon the rich, though they tap the maple so, coat their ambergris with sap. It's so easy 'cause it trickles up instead of down, only shit flows the other way. Yes, the capital list gets it right by saying it wrong. You remember that song. Wisconsin's near some Canadian, but so's Vermont and Maine. Then, further down where Olson, breathing stony furlongs, strode towards the point. Pointing, that was where they came. The new origins, stepping with relief, leaving the Mayflower forever, both here and north at Annapolis Royal, then into Maple Land. Ho, va, begin, avast, at last, long debut. Canadada, autumnal hymn. In Ode there are forest stretches, colored bands, east to west, from good view of Bona Vista to Renfrew at the mouth of Juan de Fuca. But what de Fuca that mean? We gots to lay it straight. Canada is hardwood, with an ice cap, an evergreen between her teeth. The cities may rest like jewels in her hair. Auburn sparkle dream, this autumn is for spring. Autobiology of black. Sharp black, Acher nigrum palmate, opposite, simply veined, 3 to 6 inches, occasional lobe, often wilted, stipules present, pubescent under. More about myself as twig, bark, fruit of the black maple. Slender brown, terminal bud, plump pointed, variable dark, elliptic, older, furrowed crown, horse-winged, cimarashoe, shapes appear, clustering, simple. The is tree. What comes from these trees but art, glossy-edged, leaves, fur-bottomed, or smooth? The whip and stem of art, the very grain, always a price to pay. Cutting it down brings it out, page by page, pining what we saw, coning over the hill, its bark furrowed, branches swag darkly, pinked wet with moose rack, every fiber glowing to the core, all apple yellow, luminescent tree of earth, what it comes down to, and the coop, the gra of is. Epistolary whistle. May this be the marriage of prelude and announcement, a highly pitched pitch, ancient as a sound sculpture, a 2-ton tongue, twice as tricky as signified. Tongue in cheek, check it, then out. All at once is shrill, whistle begs in again. Blow your R's slower to hitch a wish list, hum it. Wristful of snows now, knows of wistfulness. Goings out is all, come back safe when. In a sense. A poem's width is slung breath, foggy morning forget-me-nots. A crafty unraveling of what's always there, cloud, sun, leaf, miles from beginning. How it ends. In a sense. In no sense. My vision fails before my eyes. All numbers are sandbagged in the end. To be taken down is the finish line. How can you matter a damn grain of sand? As the body collapses ass under into earth, the composite self begins in every cell's element. Being is in the body's pre-revious period. At present is returning into. The sum causes washed in the brain pan then. The living are the tenders of our early tinder sparks. A fire builder's bewilderment holds beneath the sanctity of star. Twinkle in the veins, shake the mortal soil to shine. Autobiography of the future. It's all so lonely. Birds can't find a home. New technologies are never compatible. Swallows swift, sparrows thrush. What if you never land, or even get off the ground? You, the albatross, wrung by the neck, flapping back and back on the beach. Sand kicked up at nothing. A home in the sky you can't get to. Open windows, hear birds. It'll take a lot of time to tell you everything and not succeed. This is such a big secret, I can't tell you what you know. Having seen the future, you realize that wasn't it. Alzheimer's and cyanide, 2035. We've counted our days. Since when did counting begin? We've weighed them in. They didn't last, but linger wrong, immemorial ring. A short reply to Wyndham Lewis. At the numinous is where we gain it, and without, we are that automata. Acting in pain to force satisfaction like a ventral wall. Click and snarl, labial spool, we can be made to do too. Iowa San eye-opener, eye-opener, I-hope in her, hope in her, hope in her, eye-opener. I know any I-O, I know one any I-O, any I-O, any I-O. I know the other I-O, no others I-O, another I-O.
No one any I-O, no one any I-O, no one any I-O, no one any I-O. I-O and any I-O and any I-O and any I-O. Oh, oh.